this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to initiate a drift utilizing shift lock. I consider this to be intermediate move because it requires some speed. I would say around 35 miles per hour or higher. If this is something you haven't tried before, I recommend that you go somewhere that has plenty of space and a lot of runoff, because chances are you're probably going to make a mistake. Personally, I've actually never tried this before in real life, just on the sim, so I was a little nervous but really kind of anxious to see how I can apply these skills. After a few tries, I got the hang of it, and this clip that you're watching right now, I'm going to use this one as a demonstration. In the next clip, I'm going to show you all 3 camera angles, and then I'm going to slow it down for you and break it down step by step. I started by pushing in the clutch, downshifting from 3rd to 2nd, releasing the clutch, and breaking traction to start the slide. Now, this one's a little tricky because since it is a decreasing radius, I had to slow my speed down and then shift in the first gear to keep the slide going. I'll show you this again. Push in a clutch, shift from 3rd to 2nd, dump the clutch. As it breaks traction, I counter steer, and then I step on the throttle to continue the slide, but not too much because my line is decreasing as a decreasing radius, so I had to let it slow itself down. And then to keep the slide going, you see me clutch in, shift to first, dump the clutch, and then keep the slide going. Once you initiate the slide, it's then up to you to keep the slide going by any means necessary. Here's a larger view of being in car. After I shift from 3rd to 2nd, you see that I immediately counter steer and then hold the slide by stepping on the throttle and maintaining speed by shifting back into 1st so that I can keep the slide going. It's crucial that after you break traction to initiate a slide, you can see that I released the steering wheel and caught it again once I'm in the right angle of slide, and then just held it and made little incremental adjustments, but I was just feeling it out with throttle with my inputs, but also with the decreasing radius. I had to keep adjusting myself to keep it going. I made a few attempts before to keep it in 2nd gear to continue the slide, but I just fell way out of power band, and there is no way I can make that tight radius without going into 1st to keep the power. Here's a large view of the foot camera. Now, just as quick as I had to be with my hands with steering input, I also had to be equally as quick on my feet because depending on my inputs, throttle or clutch was just as important to balance in between. Here's another rundown from the foot camera. So I clutch in, shift from 3rd to 2nd, dump the clutch, and then break traction and I counter steer. Once I catch it, I throttle at the same time to keep the slide going, but just enough because my line is decreasing in radius. So once I lost a little too much speed, I knew I had to clutch in, drop it in the 1st, and then dump the clutch and then throttle out in order to keep the slide going. I hope this technique can be useful for some of you, so go out there and have some fun and be safe.